Hey guys, what is up? This is Matthew Davis me once again. Welcome back to another collection video. As you notice, I'm wearing a new hat that I got 2 weeks ago. Did not want to wear it until I got a haircut, and I did get a haircut, so yeah, this is my happy hat. As soon as I saw it at GameStop, I immediately went to get it, so I did get it. And speaking of games, I'm doing another video game collection video. It's a PS4 games collection, which I have made 2 years ago, but I got a crap ton more. I made that that collection video 2 years before I played Persona 5, and I didn't even have God of War yet. I mean, I played God of War, but I rented it at the time. I didn't, but now that I own that game and Persona 5, as well as some of the best console exclusives on the console, so let's get into it. I got a hell of a lot more games and more along the way. Of course, Cyberpunk 2077. If that game is ever going to be released, because it's been delayed so many times, but I have hope. But anyways, let's get into it. I'm going to try to put these in order alphabetically, but in case I don't, it really doesn't matter. But anyways, let's get started, okay? First off, we got Alien Isolation, one of the best movie licensed games of all time, in my opinion. Okay, this came out a year after the major letdown that was Aliens Colonial Marines. I never actually finished this because this game scared the hell out of me, okay? It still does, and unfortunately, it's kind of like the Dark Souls of horror games. Like, if you die, then you have to go all the way back to your save point, and there aren't that many of them, which is why I never got to finish it. But this is still an amazing game. Maybe one of these days I will try my best to try and beat it. Even on easy mode, it was still a struggle, but it's still a great game. And if you're a fan of Alien, or Aliens, just like me, if you're a fan of the Alien series in general, then I highly recommend it. It's a must-play for any fan of gaming in general, or of horror, or fan of the series, okay? Next up is Angry Birds Star Wars. I mean, Angry Birds. Don't really have much to say about this one. I mean, you could just play this game, like, on your phone. Like, I haven't really played this in quite a while. I definitely prefer the original Angry Birds, but I don't know. It's just, I feel like it should be mostly played on a phone and not really on a console. Another pretty good licensed video game based off a movie, Back to the Future. The good game, not the crappy LJN game, but I really enjoyed this game. I actually haven't fully finished it. I had like a couple episodes left, but while it's not perfect by any means necessary, I think it has the charm of the original game, and this truly has some of the best looking cel-shaded graphics I've seen in any game. I could say this is one of Telltale's better games in quite a long time. It's a shame that Telltale's went out of business, but you know, this is truly a fun game. Like, if you're a fan of the series, then definitely check it out. Don't expect anything big on combat. Like, I expected there to be a lot of combat, but showing how not all games rely on that kind of impressed me. Batman Arkham Knight, the first Batman game I played. Definitely not as good as the first two games. Took me a while to beat this, but I did manage to beat it, and PC port, from what I've heard of, wasn't very good. I do have some problems with the game. It's definitely not a masterpiece. I do think that the Bat Tank system was kind of disappointing and was kind of overused too much in this game, but nevertheless, I enjoyed it. I can't beat the masterpiece that is Arkham City. You know. What is a masterpiece, however, is Bloodborne. Oh my god, Bloodborne is probably my favorite game From Software has made. This is definitely not an easy game. If you don't know, From Software is known for making some of the hardest games of the modern era. It truly is a frustrating game, but the lore and the experience, it has that horror vibe to it, unlike the other Dark Souls games. This is probably my favorite game that they made. It truly is a masterpiece, and if you're wondering what that beeping sound is, it's just probably the battery on my fire alarm. We've had that for quite some time, but truly one of the best PlayStation 4 exclusives, and it's definitely a must-play. And if you haven't played a From Software game, I think your best option is to start with this, then the Dark Souls games, but it doesn't really matter. They're all incredible games. Next up is a game that I just started playing, Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. Spiritual successor to Castlevania Symphony of the Night. I think it's an amazing game. Like, it's really addicting, and It is a little bit harder than Symphony of the Night, believe it or not. Honestly, Symphony of the Night feels like a cakewalk compared to this. I mean, it's not super hard, it's not Dark Souls hard, but Bloodstained is a great experience, okay? It has gorgeous graphics, and it truly, I think it's a great game, so definitely recommend it, okay? These I can show on camera. The Borderlands Trilogy. I have the pre-sequel, I just have it on Xbox One. The remaster of the Game of the Year edition. The Handsome Collection, which includes Borderlands 2 and Borderlands the pre-sequel, which is the prequel to the first game. And last but not least, Borderlands 3. I love these games. They're a hell of a lot of fun. Okay, these are how looter shooters should be made. This is my favorite games series that Gearbox has made, and I truly recommend them for anybody who hasn't played a looter shooter, a good looter shooter, that is. Anyways, Call of Duty Black Ops 3. I mean, it's Call of Duty. Don't really have to say anything else. Only Call of Duty game I have for a PlayStation console. Probably because I'm more into full-on single-player games, or I'm not really much into multiplayer that much, unless I have to play it. Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy. Haven't played this yet. I did play this at a friend's house one time. But I got this on Black Friday for like 15 bucks. I never fully got to play because there were other games I wanted to play first, so I'm not sure when I'm ever going to play this. Probably when the time when Crash Bandicoot 4 comes out, but yeah. Anyways, Dark Souls 3. I've actually been playing this a lot recently. Truly a fantastic end to a fantastic trilogy. Dark Souls is probably one of my new favorite video game franchises of all time. Sure, they're punishing, but they're super rewarding. That's what makes them so wonderful. I mean, if these games were just easy, then I don't think they would have the charm that they do now have. And I'm really looking forward to the Demon's Souls remake for the PS5 that's coming out. I know that's going to be great. I really hope it is. Okay, Death Stranding. Death Stranding, which I did a review for on my channel, if you want to check that out. Don't really have much to say. I'll explain more in my video game review. Destiny and Destiny 2. Now, when I played Destiny for the first time, I loved the game, okay? But seeing people's criticisms did make me realize a bit more. I mean, the story is awful. Peter Dinklage really didn't give that much of a good performance in the game, which is why they replaced them with Nolan North later down the line. This is one of the first PS4 games that I did play. One of the first main PS4 games I got when I got my PS4. But Destiny, I still don't mind it. The sequel I thought was better. Still not perfect, but the story was a bit better. Don't really have much to say about that. Devil May Cry 5. Probably my favorite in the series. I haven't opened this one up as well, because at the time I played the Xbox One version. I rented it, and then I got this version for Christmas last year. One of my favorite games of the year, or of 2019 that is. Check out my review for the game. Okay. Dishonored. Dishonored. Really good one. The Division 2, another game that I got on Black Friday. I kind of stopped playing this because, I mean, it does feel kind of repetitive, but gameplay's fun-wise, but I think it takes up way too much storage. Like, it says 35 gigabytes, but it took up like 100, and that really got my nerves. I did not want to keep that game for it, because I have better games to play. Doom Eternal, one of my favorite games of the year so far. Might be better than the original game, probably just in terms of multiplayer, but this is still a really fun game. It's one of the best looking first-person shooters I played, and has some of the most fun mechanics in a first-person shooter, like the hook-based mechanic. I do find a little bit of the enemies to be a bit annoying to take down, like that one with the axe where you have to kill them in a specific way, but I'm really hoping that they fix that. Like, that was such a pain in the ass to do, but Dragon Age Inquisition, probably BioWare's last good game. I think, I'm not entirely sure. I do think this game is a little too grindy, because there's certain stuff you have to do in order to progress with the story that are kind of more like fetch quests, but I never fully got to finish this game, and I'm probably not going to be able to. I haven't even romanced anyone yet. But Dragon Age Inquisition, it's a good game. In fact, it's a great game. So there's that. Dragon Ball FighterZ, probably the best video game based on an anime, in my opinion. The fighting mechanics are absolutely fun. It's basically Street Fighter with a coat of paint from an anime series, a very popular one. I will say those Android 21 bosses really pissed me off. They were so annoying to deal with, but like I just had to mash all these buttons and stuff. But I was managed to beat her. So yeah, great game overall. Dreams, another one of my favorite games of 2020. Here's the thing. At the time, there weren't that many physical copies when this came out, okay? I looked at GameStop, didn't have it. Target, didn't have it. Walmart, didn't have it. So, when I went to go see Fantasy Island, my mom actually went out searching for the game for me, and there was only one copy left at a GameStop that she went to. It might have been a GameStop, or maybe it was, I don't know, but she was able to find it for me. But little did I know, about a month later, there were so many physical copies of this game at Target in the clearance section, so I could have just waited a long time ago, but still, it was worth it. Amazing game. Check it out. Dying Light. This is a zombie game, a successor to the game Dead Island, which I do like this more than Dead Island. There is supposed to be a sequel later down the line. There are definitely some problems like with the story and the fact that the game can be really cliched a lot, but Dying Light, it's still a fun game. The Evil Within, one of the first horror games I ever played. I'm this close to finishing it, but this game is just really, really difficult, even on easy mode. It's not, I see where the flaws come from, but like story-wise, character-wise, it can get a bit confusing sometimes. This is better than the games before Resident Evil 7 came along, but it's probably one of those games, like, if I do ever beat it, I'm probably never going to play it again. But that doesn't mean it's a bad game. Like, I really enjoyed it. The sequel, on the other hand, I thought was a lot better. I thought it was a lot more well-polished. I thought character development was a lot better in this one. Combat, visual perspective, it has a fun final boss. They also add a first-person perspective, kind of like Resident Evil 7. Except you can play that game only in first-person mode, but Evil Within 2, it's a great game. Definitely better than the first one. Definitely check it out. Okay, starting off with the games that I really did not like. Fallout 76. Why do I have this game? Because it was like either $7 or $11. But about a month later, the regular version was full price again. And this is the Steelbook version. I never finished this game, probably never will. I just didn't have fun, okay? Like 20 hours in, and I felt like I was getting nothing out of it. I mean, sure, gameplay can be kind of enjoyable, but there's no interesting NPCs. There's just, even if they did fix the bugs, which they did a little bit, it doesn't really help that much. So yeah, definitely not really worth it. Far Cry 5. Now, a long time ago, I said I was going to review this game, but I had to delay my review, and because there was this thing that was going on. I was renting the game at the time, didn't have a physical copy, and it just corrupted my save file, so I did manage to beat this game, and I still haven't reviewed the game, but I don't think you guys are begging it, but I might review this game when Far Cry 6 comes around the corner, because I know that's coming out soon. Final Fantasy 15, pretty solid game. Final Fantasy 7 Remake, which was even better. Another one of my favorite games of the year. It does get a little bit better more than I think about it, but it's not entirely my favorite game of the year. I don't enjoy it as much as Doom Eternal or Ori and the Will of the Wisp, but I think it's a solid game. Definitely one of the best video game remakes out there. Ghost of Tsushima, just reviewed this one, go check that out. God of War 3 remastered, because I didn't have a PS3 at the time. I do now. First God of War game I played, it's definitely my favorite of the trilogy, though that ending, kind of confusing, but hey, the reboot definitely made up for that. One of the best video game reboots of all time, and easily the best game in the series for me. I think we can all agree on that. Yeah, boy! That just never gets old. It just doesn't. Grand Theft Auto 5, another one of the first AAA games I played. PS4 was actually the first, or it's not the first main home console I ever got. That would be the Xbox 360, but it's the one that, this is the system that made me want to become more of a gamer because of all these games that there are for them. So that's why I have so many of these games, okay? So, Grand Theft Auto 5, what do I really have to say? It's one of the most vulgar games out there, but it's so damn good. Horizon Zero Dawn, masterpiece of a game, one of my favorites of 2014. Beautiful game. I cannot wait for the sequel coming out for the PS5. And yes, I'm definitely getting the PS5. No doubt about it. I don't care how much it costs. I'll just have to try and save up if I ever do get my job back. Injustice 2. Great fighting game. Don't really have much to say. The long-awaited Kingdom Hearts 3. This is the deluxe edition, which also includes a steelbook, which is completely optional. I don't think this is the best in the trilogy. I definitely think the first two games were better, but the worlds that you explore throughout the game are absolutely outstanding. Like, there's so much fan service and so many great worlds to explore. And although I'm kind of mixed on the way it ended, I mean, there is DLC, but I didn't really hear that many good things about it. But Kingdom Hearts 3, I still think it was worth the wait. Do I really need to say anything? Last of Us. This is the game that made me want to become a gamer, and it just fulfilled me. At the time when I played this, I got it downloaded for the PS2 or PS4 when it was bundled, but I didn't have a physical copy, and I wanted to get a physical copy of the game just because of how amazing it was. So yeah, sequel. Okay, now I can get into spoilers. Okay, yes, the Joel death scene was really controversial, and it did leave a bad taste in my mouth, but I don't know why. There was just so much to love about this game, in my opinion. I mean, sure, you can argue that the new characters feel more like the good guys and just completely treats the other, like the main characters, like they were the bad guys, but I don't really see it that way. Nobody, to me, is really a good guy or a bad guy. It was 30 hours of just beautiful visual effects and some of the best acting, the best acting I've ever seen in video games. It's still one of my favorites of the year, I'm not gonna lie. I would be lying to you if I said I absolutely despise the game. Hey, at least I didn't give it a perfect score, okay? Lego Dimensions, one of these games that I think was just made to sell toys. I'm probably never going to play this again, mainly because I lost the portal thing that you use, so... I mean, it was a fine game. Mass Effect Andromeda, played this, beat it. I don't really have much to say. I only got this for $5, that's for sure, and it was the deluxe edition. It's not the worst game ever, but man, it was such a letdown. Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. I did have this for Xbox One, but I lost most of my save progress from that, trying to make progress in that version, so I just got the PS4 version because, I mean, I'm more of a PlayStation guy anyway. Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor. Fantastic game. Another great movie license game based off the popular, of course, Lord of the Rings series. Minecraft. Don't really need to say anything else about that. Minecraft Story Mode. Don't really need to say that much about it as well. Monster Hunter World. Really fun game. Definitely my favorite in the series. It was a great year for Capcom in 2018 and 2019. Mostly 2019. Mortal Kombat 11. Yeah, it's just, I don't have a lot to say about some of these games, but yeah. Nier Automata. Now, on my review of this game, I mentioned that I beat the first two parts. I did get some comments saying that there was more to the story and that I should have waited till I'd beaten those till I reviewed the game. I mean, I haven't gone back to these games because, or this game because of all these other games, but Nier Automata is still one of those games that I just want to continue to play and try to make it to the end. So one of these days, when I really have the time, I'll definitely play it. Neo 2, check out my Rage compilation where I absolutely suck balls at this game. It's really tough, but I still think it's super rewarding. No Man's Sky, at this game's launch, it launched very poorly. The game crashed a lot and didn't really and had a lot of broken promises. But over time, it did get a bit better. I still think it's a bit too grindy, but they added new modes in this game, so I actually do enjoy this game. It's not perfect, still not perfect, but I still think there is a lot to enjoy about this game. Like, they added a lot more. It's probably one of those games I'm probably never going to get it finished, but one of these days I do want to try if I feel like wasting time. Okay. Okami. Beautiful game. Kind of like a Legend of Zelda clone, and you know how much of a fan I am of the Legend of Zelda series. The Outer Worlds. Truly what Fallout 76 should have been. It's definitely one of Obsidian's best games and one of my favorite games of last year. If I were to recommend this game, I would recommend either the PC, PS4, or Xbox One version. There's also a Switch version, but I didn't really hear that many good things about it. But this is still a great game. Just don't play it on a Switch. Overwatch. Don't really need to say much about it. It's definitely gotten much better over time. I mean, it was already great at the time. I mean, the game is pretty divisive. There's a sequel coming out with a single-player campaign. Really hope that's good. But it's still kind of one of those games that players just love to hate, and people think, oh, this game didn't deserve Game of the Year. Well, this isn't quite Game of the Year for me. I still think it's a lot of fun. One of the main multiplayer shooters that I really enjoyed. Also, I did have this for the Xbox One, but on Black Friday of last year, I got this for like 12-ish, 20 bucks maybe. So I gave my friend my Xbox One version, and I mean, I don't even have Xbox Live anymore, so yeah. Alright, Persona 5, now I get to talk about this bad boy here. I love this game. You guys know I love this game. Okay? And that's why I got this bad boy right here. This is the Phantom Thieves edition. I got this earlier this year for like 200 bucks. Totally worth it. This includes a lot of things. I'm not going to open it up. I did have this in a video game update video, but this has a lot. It includes a Morgana plush, which is kind of the reason why I got it. There's a steelbook, Sounds of Rebellion soundtrack, art book, box, and a bag, a collectible bag, the Shujin Academy bag. But you know what's even better than Persona 5? Persona 5 Royal. Oh my god, Persona 5 Royal. This is truly, like, if you haven't played Persona 5 and really want to play it, I mean, you can play it for 20 bucks on PS4, but I think it's definitely worth the $60 just to buy this new version. There's more content, more stuff to do, and a new storyline that fits the original story really well. Next up, I have Persona 5 Dancing in Starlight. This is a rhythm-based game. I never actually played this. There is a VR mode included, but yeah, that's another game I got on Black Friday for like 20 bucks. Like, I did not want to play full price on a dancing game, but yeah. Plants vs. Zombies, Garden Warfare, pretty fun spin-off game. Ratchet and Clank, the movie, the game based off the movie, which is based off the games. I just recommend not watching the movie and just play this game. If you're a fan of the series, just play the game. Looking forward to the other game that's coming out for the PlayStation 5. Yeah. Resident Evil 2, favorite game of 2019. Probably my favorite video game remake of all time. Truly a masterpiece, and truly one of the best in the series. Might even be better than the original game. Sure, I haven't played the Resident Evil 3 remake. I'm waiting till the price for that game drops, because $60 for a 6-hour game, that's just not worth it for me. But I mean, I'll still play it. I want to try playing it before the year ends. It's probably not going to make my best games of the year list, but I don't know. Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, another one of my favorite games of 2019. It's hard as hell, probably the hardest game From Software has made, but it's still an amazing game nonetheless, even though I can't make much progress in it. Check out my Rage compilation on that as well. Spider-Man, easily the best Spider-Man game of all time. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, best Star Wars game in a really long time. Can't quite beat Knights of the Old Republic, but it's still an incredible game. EA has finally done a good job with Star Wars, for now at least. I mean, Mostly, we have to thank Respawn for this. The creators of the underrated Titanfall series. At least Titanfall 2 I've only played. Subnautica, such a great indie game. Doesn't really hold your hand that much, but if you were just to spend so many hours like underwater exploring these deep open environments in the ocean, I'd say check this game out. Okay, this game is so good that even Jacksepticeye stated that this game is awesome on the back of the box. So that should just tell you to go out and buy it. Terraria, I haven't played this game yet. It's basically a side-scrolling 2D version of Minecraft. It doesn't take up a lot of space, which is good. So one of these days I will give it a shot. Alright, the Uncharted Collection. The only Uncharted game I don't have is the one for the PlayStation Vita and Uncharted Lost Legacy, but those are more spin-off games. Mainline games, original trilogy, awesome. I have to say, all the sequels I think are better than the first game. I mean, the first game was great, but it does feel pretty cheesy at sometimes. 4, perfect end to the series. Still my favorite in the series. Some people say 2 is the best. Think it's a great game, but 4, there's just something about 4. Maybe it's the fact that it's the first game of the series that I played, but I feel like it perfected the combat and nearly perfected the puzzles. Sure, it does get a bit slow sometimes, but I was still kind of invested, so what more can I say? Don't own a PlayStation 3, definitely get the PS4 versions. And last but not least, Until Dawn. Episodic point-and-click horror game. It's kind of like a David Cage game if it were a horror game. I mean, David Cage didn't have anything to do with this, but I'm a big fan of horror. This is truly a fantastic, how should I put it, PlayStation exclusive. Like, if you're a fan of horror, like myself, and you're a fan of gaming, then definitely play this one. Don't expect a lot of combat or stuff, because that's not entirely what it's about. So that is it. That is it for my PlayStation 4 video game collection. Hope you guys enjoyed. It truly was for me, even though it did take me a while, but I thought this was the perfect time to do this. But yeah. Also, before I end this video, I want you guys to know that I starred in a new short film with my friend Matthew Bailey and his cousin Tyler. We made a short film called Trapped. Most credit is due to Tyler Bailey. We had a lot of fun with that. It's kind of like a Saw parody. It's just not supposed to be taken seriously, but in fact, I did find some plot holes to it. But yeah, I recommend checking it out. We had a really fun time. Check out the bloopers as well. Links in the description. Go check it out. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I gotta go get this video edited now, and then I'm probably gonna play more. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys later. Word out.